And you have to decide what your story is. So I came from an interesting family, a very beautiful, highly strung, very unhappy mum who was unfulfilled. And then I had my cats come to join in. And then I had a really academic, very kind dad who was an amazing guy, but so unhappily married. And I had a brother who was a smart brother who went to private school. Then I had a little sister who was a really cute, pretty little baby. And I just felt like this thing in the middle, this hideous freak. I was like tall and gangly. I had really long legs, which wasn't great. You know, it's great when you're older. And my dad was my head teacher. You can imagine what that was like going to school. So I think I felt like a massive freak. But I was very lucky. I had a grandmother who really believed in me. That was my one saving grace. My grandmother always told me I was a genius. And I felt very ugly and kind of stupid too. But I had her, and I think I realized if you have one person to believe in you, it's as good as having 100, because she really believed in me. And I think as I grew up, I realized that, you know, my dad was such an amazing person, always rescuing kids coming from dysfunctional homes and helping them out. And kids would turn up at our house with tears, and he always went out with a pocket full of Kleenex because he was very good at helping other people too. And he used to say to me, you know, helping other people is what life is all about. But he didn't tell me that, he showed it me. So I grew up and something interesting happened to me. I would watch my parents have terrible fights. My mother would become hysterical, lie on the floor and cry all night. And my father would pick up his briefcase and go to work. And I remember thinking, oh, that's what you do. When your relationship goes wrong, and it was never if, it was very much when, you better have a great job, because a great job soothes you and you don't feel as much pain. And so I always knew I had to have a job that was engrossing and fulfilling, because my father loved being a head teacher. And so I thought, well, I'll be a teacher too. And then I thought maybe I'll be a child psychologist. And then I realized that the best thing I could be was a hypnotherapist, because it's so effective. And so I began my journey of being a hypnotherapist. And my dad was right. Helping people, making a difference really is what life's all about. When I was younger, he said to me, you know, when you're a head teacher, you have to imagine every day that every child has tattooed on their head, please make me feel important. And that was his motto, go through life believing that your job is to make every child. He used to have gypsies coming to his school, and he was the only person who could get through to them, because he made every child feel hugely important, massively significant, absolutely fascinating. And I do that with my own clients. I'm fascinated with every client's story. I'm interested in every client's story. And I think, you know, my dad really showed me, rather than telling me, that that's what makes life worthwhile, helping other people.
I love that you talked about hypnotherapy and making a difference so quickly. And I love how you talk about I'm impatient, so I like massive results really quickly. Tell me more about how you do that.
Well, I've always been impatient. And, you know, when I was training to be a therapist, my very eminent teacher said to me, you know, the human mind is very complicated. It takes a lifetime to understand, and then a second lifetime to put into place what you've understood. And I remember thinking, how could that be? The universe would go, hey, I'm just about to put you on the planet. You're going to have this amazing genius brain. It will take you 90 years to crack it. And just as you crack it, you're going to drop dead. So you don't have a second lifetime unless you believe in reincarnation. But I also remember Einstein saying, simplify, simplify, simplify. I thought, well, you know what? Therapy isn't difficult. It might not be easy, but it's certainly not hard. Because actually the mind isn't complicated. It's very straightforward. It does what it thinks we want it to do. If we go, oh, if I get ghosted again, it will kill me. If I have another client like that, I'm going to jump off a bridge. Our mind picks up, oh, you don't want another relationship. You don't want to go to that place called work. It's killing you. So we've got to be very clear in how we dialogue with ourselves. The mind listens to our words and acts on them. It does what it thinks we want it to do. Now, when you go, I love cake. Oh, I love pizza. Ice cream is my best friend. Of course, you're going to turn to it in a bad moment. It also really loves what is familiar. Doesn't like what's unfamiliar, but you can make anything familiar. And it responds constantly to the pictures and words you put in your head. And if you know those three things about your mind, you really don't need to ever know anything else.
Keep reaching to feel better, because the world needs you to feel good so you can share that very special gift that only you have. And if you want more, check out my next video here.